Good evening and a Merry Christmas to everybody from the Ranting Monkey Show. I'm the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing this Christmas?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Oh, I no real complaints I want to share. It's Christmas, so I'm happy. I like Christmas. Christmas is fun. Yay! You don't sound like
Yay.
you share that notion.
It's just a day when everything is closed.
You know, I actually saw a story a little while ago about all of the different fast food places open. I'm like, kind of dick bag owners have their people going in to make nuggets
Not
on
enough.
Christmas. Nah, fuck that shit. Close down on Christmas Day. For fuck's sake. One day out of the year, you can stand not to make that $300 or $400 you were going to make. Just my opinion. Let the workers go home and rest for a day. Damn.
Nah.
What if they got a woman pregnant on a donkey right now and they got to be at work? Exactly. You didn't think of that, did you? Don't put pregnant women on donkeys, by the way.
That sounds like your own fault kind of thing.
I mean, I guess so. I suppose so. Audience, Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you guys are having a good one out there. It is Christmas Day here on the East Coast of the United States. And we got a present from Matt Tiabi. We got a bigger Twitter drop, Jack. Now, I haven't read through it all. I've only read a little bit of it here and there. But it kind of seems to be a bitch slap of the FBI, which I find hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
This is Kyle. Thank you so much. Who says, Merry Christmas, chat people, Monkey and Jack. To you as well, sir. To you.
Merry Christmas, Kyle.
Damn it, Kyle. I don't get to say that enough. Damn it, Kyle. I probably could say it more if I paid attention. I don't pay that much attention to things. Is that something I'm supposed to admit?
I don't know.
I don't know how these things work anymore. Anyway, so we got Twitter files, Jack. And we're going to read through them because that's what we do around here. But we're going to do it a little different today. I'm going to throw the thread into chat where you guys can read it on Twitter if you would like to. But that's not where we're reading it. We are going to read it over on Matt Tiabi's Substack because he's got it on there a lot easier to read. We don't have to look at how ugly Twitter is when you're trying to reach it. So there's the link for the Twitter part of it. And hang on, let me give you this here. This is the Tiabi Substack, where journalists go to become better journalists, and the ones who still work for mainstream news sources complain that they're not getting paid as well. That's really what it is. Most of the big ones you see. Have you seen the new thing that Barry Weiss? She's only successful over on Substack because she's being helped by rich and famous people who want her to succeed.
Oh, my God.
Just like if it was like the Washington Post or something, she still got the insider's edge. You know who's pushing that shit?
No.
Taylor Lorenz.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah.
She's prettier than me. I hate
exactly. It is such a jealousy kind of bullshit. She's only getting famous because she has some insider pull. Bitch, why are you famous? You ugly and stupid. Why are you famous? You haven't even released a sex tape. Why are you famous?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, come on. I can only guess on the kind of let's call it blackmail that you have over people who have hired you previously that made you a thing ever, Taylor. And for you to be out there whining it, they're only famous because they got the backing of. Shut up. You're only famous because you were at the New York Times and now the Washington Post. You were a little blogger girl that nobody paid any attention to.
To be fair, she's also a meme.
She might have, I don't want to say she sucked the right wiener, but she might have slurped a candy cane or two. Because I can't see any other reason this woman would have any power. She's not funny. She's not insightful. Even her teardowns of people, it's not even like she's that good at doing it. She's just a horrible person.
Real quickly, thank you, Nancy Pelosi. Happy Schwanza to all, and Paul, get that dick out of your mouth. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Old Saint Nick. You wasn't so bad this year. I'm not bad any year. I'm a good person. I'm just a really good person. I swear a lot, but that's not against anything I've ever read in the Bible. If I'm being honest, so just saying.
Yeah, it says you can't curse people, which is much different than swearing.
Yeah, I curse at people. I don't actually curse them. That's different.
No, swearing and cursing are significantly different. Swearing is using foul language or socially unacceptable language. To curse someone is to lay a hex upon them.
But they call it cursing too.
Well, they call it that only because the Puritans lumped the two together, and that's not accurate.
Either way, I don't actually place curses on people because I'm not a witch.
Exactly, because witchcraft is forbidden. But that's I don't want to culturally appropriate from witches either.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to do, especially at this holiday.
It's you're a ridiculous lunatic's birthday.
Give me just a moment. I have to fix something.
Monkey's breaking stuff over there.
There we go. All right. Sorry, I closed some shit I wasn't meaning to close. What's up? I'm sorry.
It's your ridiculous lunatic's birthday.
Well, lunatic, this is for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear ridiculous lunatic. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. Really do.
And happy birthday, Jesus.
All right. Now, let's just jump into it. The Twitter files. This one didn't have a number on it. It's just Twitter and other government agencies. All right. Jonathan Greers, thank you so much. Taylor is famous for being a terrible person. Also, Merry Christmas. Well, thank you.
Merry Christmas.
She got famous before she was before people realized what a terrible person she was. So I hear you. She's more famous for being it. She's become infamous in that regard. But at some point, she was getting a name for being a journalist. You know, when she was going out there and destroying people for who their mother was. True story. Look it up. All right. After weeks of Twitter file reports, the FBI issued a statement on Wednesday. It didn't refute allegations. Instead, it decried conspiracy theories, publishing misinformation whose sole aim is to discredit the agency. And here's the embedded tweet there. The men and women of the FBI work every day to protect the American public. It is unfortunate that the conspiracy theorists and others are feeding the American public misinformation with the sole purpose of attempting to discredit the agency. Actually, that's not the sole purpose. The purpose is to show what you were doing. That's not to discredit you. It's only discrediting to you if they were lying about what you were doing. That would make it misinformation. It's not misinformation to point out that you guys are shitbags who are using social media to try to sway an election.
Conspiracy talk. Just because they did it doesn't mean anything.
Real quick. Oh, sorry. I feel like this is a good point to bring up something else. You go ahead. I got to get this ready.
Okay. Thank you, Old St. Nicholas. Jack, you was bad as in bad comic reviews. Wink. Thank you very much. That's my favorite content creator. Thank you for that, Old St. Nicholas. YouTube added goat emojis. Blue goat emojis. That's weird.
All right. This is an oldie but goodie, and it needs to be brought up at the beginning of this so that everybody can remember it and it's not lost to time. This is Chuck Schumer talking to Rachel Maddow. Oh, wait, did I share? I don't remember if I shared audio. Now I got to make sure I did. I had it all set up. I had a nice segue there going, and then I had to screw it up because I wasn't sure if I clicked the little blue button.
Oh, well, thank you, Torello, for that generous donation. It says, Merry Christmas, Jack. Merry Christmas to you too, man. Thank you very much. It's very generous of you.
Let me ask you, I don't know if you have seen this. I don't want to blindside you with this. This is the latest statement, latest tweet, as you were just saying, the president-elect's latest unsolicited pronouncement on the intelligence community. This was his tweet just a little while ago tonight. You see the scare quotes there. The intelligence brief.
I love the scare quotes.
Yeah.
The scare quote. Is that how you use them, Rachel?
So scary.
Right.
Scary. What's the difference between quotation marks and scare quotes? Because that's never been established.
If Trump does it, it's scare quotes.
Oh, fair enough.
I usually consider him condescending quotes, but whatever.
In a tweet? Yeah, absolutely.
Briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange. We're actually told, intelligence sources tell NBC News since this tweet has been posted, that actually this intelligence briefing for the president-elect was always planned for Friday.
They would never lie about that.
Yeah, well, we're being told that that's not true, so we should just implicitly believe it.
Well, listen to that where she says, "Hey, the intelligence agencies are telling us that it's always been." Listen to what Schumer says next.
It hasn't been delayed, but he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
I have been bitching about this clip since it first happened. The fact that the leader of the Senate Democrats, went on television and said this and not went, and we need to put a stop to that after it. Let me tell you, if you take on the intelligence agencies, they have 6 ways to Sunday to get back at you. And Rachel, who just went, yeah, they called Trump a liar. We didn't see it on their calendar or anything, but that's what they said. That's what they said.
Yeah, well, Schumer knows that he can't stop him.
That should be the moment when you're this high powered in either party, and you're going on television going, yeah, don't fuck with U.S. intelligence or they will fuck with you. That's the time you should be going, and that means we need to break them apart. They have power they should not have.
Schumer's got a lot of skeletons in his closet, and the bureaucracy is more powerful than any one individual. The Congress is cowards. They're not going to do anything.
And just for posterity's sake, we'll throw this into chat. Buddha, thank you so much. Who says, Merry Christmas, monkey. Merry Christmas to you as well. But yeah, there's a whole 9-minute clip of that. He's talking to her that day. That's a minute part of it. You can go find it. But yeah, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. They will fuck with you. They will fuck with you. Don't fuck with them. And could we consider this to be Tiabi and Barry Weiss and Schellenberg and Elon fucking with the FBI? I'd certainly say it is.
Yeah, but that's how the FBI would take it.
Well, anybody should take it that way, because I mean, even if you think that it's all true, which I do, it's still fucking with them. It's pointing out what horrible bastards they are.
I really hope Elon has very good security.
Me too. And I hope he's happy. I hope he's not sad.
Yeah.
He needs to give one of those Jussie Smollett speeches every day.
Yeah.
I'm not sad. I did not kill myself. Every day. Anyway. They must think us unambitious if our sole aim is to discredit the FBI. After all, a whole range of government agencies discredit themselves in the Twitter files. Why stop with one? Matt, I'm going to recommend you watch that Schumer clip and take it to heart, man. Because you're actually speaking truth to power, not like these Taylor Lorenz's of the world. I speak truth to power. No, you don't. Shut up. You're a shill. That's what you are. You just go out there and shill for the Democrats. And it is really weird seeing so many people right now coming out and being little puppets of the Chinese. Like, you can't take down TikTok. I actually saw a story like TikTok is under incredible pressure and they're trying to get rid of it in the United States, even though Twitter had something similar happen. Because one guy at Twitter got caught going into people's files and passing information on to the Saudis. He's going to prison now. One dude. And that's the exact same thing as what's going on over there at TikTok, where a company run by the Chinese, which you guys might not know this or not, but that means run by the Chinese government. You don't get to do business in China without their blessing.
Yeah. And they get a percentage.
Yep. But no, it's almost the same thing. And watching these guys simp for the fucking Chinese on this shit.
Well, it makes you wonder what where their paychecks are coming from.
Google services won't work in China, and people think the U.S. can't shut down TikTok. Well, didn't the Chinese at one point shut down Twitter as well? At various points, they've shut down. Yeah, shut down Facebook. They really cracked down on everybody during the whole Hong Kong thing.
Yeah,
they were all like, "No, you can't have anybody over here hearing truth. Only Winnie the Pooh and Piglet get to talk,
and Tigger too." Oh, sorry.
Anyway, the files show the FBI acting as a doorman to a vast program of social media surveillance and censorship, encompassing agencies across the federal government, from the State Department to the Pentagon to the CIA. CIA has been in the news recently, Jack, because of the the JFK files coming out. I think people are looking a little further into that than they should be at the moment, because there were a couple of names that were redacted. They're like, oh yeah, that dude was CIA. It's not the smoking gun people were looking for or trying to make it out to be, at least that I've seen so far. But it does definitely point more to their involvement.
Yeah, and there's more files they're withholding.
Yeah, all of it is supposed to have been released by now. A judge did that a couple years back, and the Biden administration is dragging their feet. The Trump administration dragged their feet. Or more accurately, the intelligence agencies drug their feet.
Well, I mean, who's going to listen to some judge? They're above the law.
The operation is far bigger than the reported 80 members. Oh, hang on over here. Let me get this real quickly. Gotta wait for it to load up. I need instantaneous internet. I need that really good shit. Thank you, Travis Gardner. I did not really think that Blue Anon was a real thing until I read the responses to these threads. I guess whatever's necessary to take down Trump. Oh, yeah. Although, the whole Blue Anon thing, it's just resistance Twitter. They've never hid who they are and what they're about. Resistance, hashtag resistance. Half of the little fuckers still haven't taken that out of their bio. Hashtag resistance.
Because they all have the mentality of like 15-year-old boys.
There was a time when this kind of stuff would have led left and right to go, no, this shit shouldn't be happening. But we are in such a team sports arena these days that, look, it helped get Biden elected. That's good enough. We saw, the Sam Harris thing. I don't care if Hunter Biden had a basement full of dead babies. Really? That's where you are? You think it's better for kids to die, actual death of children, to keep that evil Donald Trump from what? Insulting reporters?
Well, he is pro-abortion, so.
How do you even get that far off?
You do it gradually. quite honestly, because
I
you
guess.
slowly start accepting one thing, then another, then you're pro-abortion, and then, well, post-birth abortion's not that bad. That's for the safety and health and well-being mentally of the mother. You just keep jumping through these mental gymnastics. Once you've accepted one lie, it's easier to accept another.
I think InfoWars has been using the tagline, if you're receiving this transmission, you are the resistance, for at least a decade. All right. Yeah. That's all right. If you think that's comparable, just go look up hashtag resistance. And if you still think it's comparable at that point, I think you should probably see a doctor, because you probably have a head trauma you didn't recognize. Because these people are insane. Anyway, and we're not talking, the frogs are gay insane.
No, more like Antifa are righteous good boys that didn't do nothing. Insane.
Where are we? The operation is far bigger than the reported 80 members of the Foreign Influence Task Force, which also facilitated requests from a wide array of smaller actors, from local cops to media to state government. This part's important, Jack, because we've seen over and over again in the Twitter files where Elvis Chan, the FBI guy, he'd be like, oh, by the way, I see the intelligence community wanted to know if you guys would respond to this. He really was acting as the doorman for the rest of the intelligence agencies, at least as much as we know. Thousands upon thousands of official reports flowed through the FITF and the FBI San Francisco field office. On June 29th, 2020, San Francisco FBI agent Elvis Chan wrote a pair of Twitter execs asking if he could invite an OGA to an upcoming NGO-sponsored conference. Stacia/blank. Stacia we've heard about many times. I don't know who this blank is. I wanted to follow up to see if I could forward this invitation to an OGA. Specifically, the people from blank's former employer were inquiring. Hope all is well. Thanks. OGA, or other government organization, is often a euphemism for the CIA. And according to multiple former intelligence officers, no, I read that right. And according to multiple... okay, you fucked up there, Tiabi. That's not a sentence how it's supposed to be. According to multiple former intelligence officials and contractors. Chuckles one, they use it to seem mysterious to outsiders. The CIA is trying to pretend they're not somebody who they are. Shocking.
Yeah, they're mysterious, monkey. Mysterious!
The covert ops folks, huh? Interesting. Other government agencies, the place where I worked for 27 years, says retired CIA officer Ray McGovern. It was an open secret at Twitter that one of its executives was ex-CIA, which is why Chan referred to that executive's former employer. Now, we've discussed this. You do not get out of the CIA. That is a known truism. Once CIA, always CIA. Once agency, always agency. I don't know why we're pretending this, like this is like leaving a local police department. Anyhow, the first Twitter executive abandons all pretense to stealth and emails that the employee used to work for the CIA. So that is Elvis's question. Stacia Cardell wrote, I know, let me see if it's publicly announced, and I will tell him that. I thought my silence was understood. Senior legal executive Stacia Cardell, who had good OPSEC by Twitter standards, replies, I know, and I thought my silence was understood. You literally just posted that. Okay, can I just point out that they don't need to do that all the time?
I think they do. Everything has to be done in triplicate, monkey.
Matt, I get it. I get that you're showing your work here, but at the very least, could you? Never mind. Sunlight Conference tomorrow. I love that that's the name of it. The Sunlight Conference.
Right? Irony.
Sunlight Conference tomorrow. No need for you to attend. Carnegie is doing the heavy lift. I offered to assist Nick and Yoel, but there are no academic papers to review or anything. I was involved in the early scooping of the project as well. Scoping, whoops. I invited the FBI, and I believe the CIA will virtually attend too. Please let me know if you have any questions. Oh, I have so many, Stacia. So many. Why is the CIA attending Twitter events? I'll take your best conspiracy theories here, guys. Why in the fuck does the CIA need to be involved in Twitter chat? Now, maybe it goes back to what we saw yesterday or the day before, the last Twitter files we covered, where the United States government, the DOD, was using Twitter to push propaganda in Iran and Russia and China. I forget where else. But that wouldn't be something that the FBI and them would both need to be involved in. Those should be the way your government's supposed to work, guys. FBI is for internal stuff. CIA is for external stuff. They should not cross paths very often at all. Maybe the CIA is like, okay, this guy's coming into the country, notify the FBI, and then that's it. Because they're supposed to be separate entities.
No, under the Patriot Act, they're all buddies now. They all work together like happy little comrades.
Cardell then passes on the conference details to recently hired ex-FBI lawyer Jim Baker. Because, of course, she does. He just repeats what we already just read. He then repeats the same Sunlight Conference memo. The government was in constant contact, not just with Twitter, but with virtually every major tech firm. These include Facebook, Microsoft, Verizon, Reddit, even Pinterest, and many others. And this is a point that I've been hammering home that I don't think that they're really paying enough attention to in the Twitter files. We know over and over and over again that it is all of social media that's being invited to these things.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Hunt, thank you. That is so, so very kind. Good morning and Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you all got something from Santa's sack. Please share this with Missouri Jacques and your producer. Will do. Will do. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And Merry Christmas to you and yours. By the way, Merry Christmas to all of you. I understand that we're going over some heavy-hitting topic here. But please understand, this is also the Christmas show. Have some eggnog and some cookies and unwrap your presents, in a way that you can wrap them back so that it looks like you didn't know what it was when you wake up in the morning with your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry.
Just make sure you tape it back down exactly where it was. That's all.
Real quick. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Look, the CIA is always in attendance. Always. That's probably true. And thank you, your FBI agent. Shh. Just let it happen or you may get sad.
Yeah. I do not think they played up enough. And certainly the media is not playing this up because everybody should be asking, at the very least, Facebook, what was going on with you guys? Can we see your internals on this?
I can do that.
One of the most common forms was a regular meeting on the multi-agency influence task force attended by spades of executives, FBI personnel, and nearly always one or two attendees marked OGA. Remember, guys, OGA, CIA. They could have at least changed that last A so it was even, OGO or something, right? Instead of
S, so it'd be OGs.
We're the OG agency.
Yeah, that's what they were going for. I'd put money on it.
You mean the CIA? I mean, we all get it. The FITF meeting agendas virtually always included at or near the beginning an OGA briefing, usually about foreign matters. Hold that thought. And it does show it again. It says this: forward to all who deem appropriate agenda. Russian status. IRA update. OGA briefing. App 28 update. Now, the APT 28, this is the one that Yoel Roth, he's like, I saw the post from the Post about Hunter's laptop, and I thought of me, oh, this looks like a APT-28 operation. You know, from all, what do you say is finely honed APT-28 skills?
Yes,
Finally honed, because they'd been working on this guy for over a fucking year, almost 2 years, if I remember correctly, putting this shit in his head. Anyway.
He's finely tuned like a well-oiled rube.
Why are these pictures not showing up?
I don't know.
Thank you, Spud Gun. Merry Christmas to both of you and your families. The intelligence committees do not work for the people. JFK was an inside job. Merry Christmas to my MI5 agent and the chat as well. Have to Jack, please. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Spud Gun. Merry Christmas.
Oh, it's the same picture. Is this one too? Oh, here we go. Hi, Stacia. I know it's bananas right now. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas to you and yours, Spud. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I know it's bananas right now, but I'm wondering if we can get something on the calendar for the next round of FITF meetings. Here are the open dates and times which are left. And again, we got the OGA briefing, software and influence campaign against Ukraine. What?
Oh, you know this is going to be a pro-Ukrainian nonsense.
This is July 16th of 2020. Why is the FBI working on a campaign where people are being mean to Ukraine in 2020?
They probably suspect that some reporters know about the biolabs that were in Ukraine.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, at the time, there was a ton of shit out there about Ukraine in the mainstream media. Seriously, now none of the pictures are loading. I hate my internet. I fucking hate my internet.
Well, there was also the Burisma thing, so they might have been covering for Joe.
And that's the real propaganda that was probably going on there, is the Burisma thing. Because, again, at that time, there were plenty of news stories out there in the mainstream press. ABC ran a very famous one. I want to say even CNN ran one about how fucked up the country was. The corruption, the Nazis, all of this was being talked about. The only thing you weren't allowed to talk about was Hunter Biden and Joe. You weren't allowed to go out there and talk about how Joe Biden extorted Ukrainians to cover for his piece of shit son. That was the stuff you weren't allowed to talk about. Huh. Interesting.
Oh, kickback Joe needed his 10%. Thank you.
All right. Can you talk to the audience for just a moment? I want to try to fix something here.
Sure. Sup, audience, you sexy beasts. You guys having a good Christmas? Hope you are. You're doing something awesome. It's really cold here, so I'm not doing anything. Maybe pro-Ukrainian meeting. Oh, it's always a pro-Ukrainian meeting. They want to get us in a war so fucking bad they could taste it. I think they're blue. No way the CIA was involved with the Maiden coup. I don't know. Megatron is gone. Yeah, he had something to do. I think he had to pee. Sexy. Jack needs glasses. I do. I need a new pair of glasses. I've been putting it off because I'm going to need bifocals.
Okay, I switched to the other internet to let all the shit on this page load and then switched back to the one where I can actually talk to you.
I figured that's what you were doing.
Fuck. I hate my internet. All right, so where are we? I'm pretty sure we're on the right place. Yeah, there we go. I think it's bananas. All right.
Bananas.
Bananas.
You can't help but think of that song now.
Now that you said it, yeah. I hadn't been asshole. Am I wrong that she got a lot more credit for being hot than she actually was? That's Gwen Stefani, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a lot of makeup on. I mean, she's okay looking. Her body's pretty decent, but she's very average.
If you saw her, like, in the Mall of America, you might go, huh? But otherwise, you just be like, eh. Anyway, despite its official remit being foreign influence, the FITF and the San Francisco FBI office became conduits for mountains of domestic moderation requests from state governments, even local police. Hi, Stacia. FBI Minneapolis requests that I put you in touch with Lieutenant Hoff. His name, you can't just have the name Hoff. It needs to be Hoffman. I'm sorry. If your name is Hoff, fix it. So that I can
I feel like you're judging the Hoff, and I don't like that.
I need to, but no. I'm judging the Hoffs.
That's too close. No, you gotta just leave David Hasselhoff alone, dude.
But see, his whole name is Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
All right. If the Hoffs want to change their name to Hasselhoff, that's fine too.
Yeah, that'd be acceptable.
But anyway, put in touch with Lieutenant Hoff. Look, I just have some weird idiosyncrasies that if the world would adapt itself to me, it would make my life easier. I'm just saying. I identify as not being able to say the last name Hoff without it being Hoffman or Hasselhoff. Okay. And so the world needs to bend. They need to.
You want to give us your pronouns now?
It's not Hoff, and Hoff sucks. How about that?
Oh, fair enough.
Only hot Hoff is Susanna Hoff. I thought it was Susanna Hoffs. I thought there was an S at the end.
It is plural, I think.
Anyway,
but either way, she's still pretty hot for an old lady.
But when she was in her youth, man, goddamn.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Susanna Hoff came. Maybe it is just Hoff. She came to you with those eyes and went, "I want you to kill your mother." You've been like, "I'm gonna miss her," because wow. Anyway, put you in touch with. I still haven't finished this sentence, and I just stopped again.
Yeah,
I just stopped.
Yeah. Ironically, you stopped to tell us that you stopped and haven't finished it.
Sorry. FBI Minneapolis requested I put you in touch with Lieutenant Hoffman about some recent activities, which I have provided below. I'll let the two of you take it from here. And there's two Twitter links from TC Park Responder. It's two of their statuses. It doesn't tell us what the status was. I'm guessing though that it probably got kicked down. What they call it, bounced. I get it. I bet it got bounced. Many requests arrived via Teleporter, the one-way platform in which many communications were timed to vanish. This Teleporter is the one we talked about the other night, Jack. This is an FBI portal. It's kind of like Snapchat for the FBI.
Yeah.
Except if you don't read it in enough time, it disappears anyway. It's not just if you read it, it's you have 12 hours to read this. And if you don't do it by then, well, I guess I got to send it to you again.
This message self-destructs.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, that seems to violate the whole idea of oversight for these organizations. Like they can plot stuff and then not ever have to be accountable for it.
Indeed. It gets to, since when, and I need somebody to explain this to me, is a government written document allowed to be destroyed like this?
But it's the alphabet agencies, so they never have to be responsible to anyone ever.
For oversight alone, they should be keeping all records.
I agree, but we both know how that works.
Especially as the election approached in 2020, the FITF/FBI overwhelmed Twitter with requests, sending spreadsheets with hundreds of accounts. Twitter folks, could you look at this from our FITF global unit and let us know what you think? Thanks. And this is only part of it, man. It's a shit ton of these people. Oh God. And if you look, I would bet the part we can't see over here, it says status. because these are URLs. And I'm betting they're not just the accounts themselves. They could be. Don't get me wrong. It's possible. But a lot of what we've seen has just been the URLs for tweets. Stacia, the FBI San Francisco Emergency Operations Center sent us the attached report of 207 tweets they believe may be in violation of your policies. Tweets that might be in violation. We talked about this the other night, and I know I wailed on it then. I'm probably going to do it again over and over through this. These are not, we think that these people were breaking. These are Americans who said shit that they didn't like, which it's not illegal. They didn't say anything breaking the law, because you wouldn't need Twitter for that, Jack. You could just be, the only thing you need Twitter for is I need to know who this person is. And for that, you would need a warrant. This is just them going, excuse me, they might have broken your policies. Kind of fucking little tattletale bitch are you? Is that what the FBI is now? Little tattletale bitches?
Maybe.
I want, they always try to make the FBI look cool in movies and television. I want to see a television movie about this where the FBI is just sitting around being little tattletale bitches.
Little narcs.
Yeah. And then they go home and they're just whiny little shits. Can you believe they said those words? I can't believe they did it.
It hurt my feelings.
They're so mean to people on there. They said President Biden is retarded, and he's not.
He's the bestest ever.
Email after email came from the San Francisco office heading into the elections, often adored with an Excel attachment. Hi, Stacia. Our FBI Baltimore identified. So look, they got 80 people just dedicated to Twitter. And on top of that, they're getting reports from all around. Our FBI Baltimore identified these Twitter handles and tweets which appear to provide misleading information on time, place, and manner of voting in the upcoming elections. Remember, we saw a bunch of these that were clearly jokes. I mean, the one like, okay, or Democrats vote on Tuesday, Republicans vote on Wednesday. Ha ha.
Monkey, you forget that they're not allowed to have humor anymore. Jokes were disallowed.
We believe these may violate your terms of service and wanted to bring them to your attention. We would appreciate any feedback regarding this matter. There's a fucking Excel spreadsheet. Look, when it comes to the giving the wrong day of the election, all right. I don't think you punish anybody long term for that. But if somebody made a joke and you're like, all right, take that tweet down, fine. But so much of this was just jokes, obvious jokes. And like, I don't know what to do about this. Gary Lake lost the Arizona trial for now. Yeah, the judge said there was no merit. He's obviously stupid, but
yeah, she said she's going to appeal. So,
and she would have to at this point. I mean, if you watched any of that, sorry, we'll get back to the FBI thing here in a minute. If you watched that trial, I said this yesterday, I think it was maybe the night before. The judge seemed hostile to her.
Yeah.
The fact that he let the two go through is amazing to begin with, but he seemed openly hostile to her lawyers. And I mean, you're not going to find a judge who's willing to put their neck on the line for this shit. Because you know what happens now? That judge gets to go back into obscurity. You know what would have happened if he would have said, okay, yeah, we need to have another election, or he said, no, the real winner here is Kari Lake. They destroy the man. His name becomes a household name. You think he wants that attention? Fuck no.
Nope. Easier to kick it down the road. Maybe she'll give up. Maybe she won't. Doesn't matter. Not his problem anymore.
Yep. Much better to be overturned on appeal here from a personal standpoint. And look, guys, I'm not saying that's okay, but that is how every judge is doing this. Just again, I hate to keep pointing back to this, but look at what happened into the Pennsylvania case. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court sided with Tom Wolfe in that nonsense when it was in clear violation of their laws. There, no question about it. And it wasn't until the next year when nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to it anymore that they're like, that a federal court came out and went, oh yeah, that's unconstitutional as shit. You didn't see headlines everywhere. Donald Trump finally wins a case. You didn't see that shit. Like, nobody's looking. Yeah, we'll decide this the right way now. And there was no question it was a violation of the law. No question at all. Well, I have emergency powers. Not for that, dickhead. Anyway, back to this. There were so many government requests, Twitter employees had to improvise a system for prioritizing, triaging them. They were doing triage on the FBI going, could you please ban these people?
That tells you how much they were requesting being taken down.
I want to reach out to election-related escalations. As you know, the adoption of the unified escalation tool and the depreciation of the go/election escalations. We've been sending all that does not say escalations. That's all election-related requests directly to get support for review. We are having some issues with the backlog impacting our election efforts. I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the way you said our election efforts. That seems as though you have an agenda.
A little bit. But of course, we know they do.
The folks on this email represent the DC public policy, legal, and comms team working on elections. Generally, we are the ones escalating the high priority content, whether it is high profile or coming directly from government partners. I don't like those words either.
Yeah. Government partners should be the most terrifying thing you hear out of a company.
When you're talking about an election, Jesus Christ. Specifically, pub policy and I escalate reports from the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and state election officials, or the Election Integrity Project run by Alex Stamos. Is that a third party?
It does sound like it.
I want to say, I'm almost positive that's a third party. Election Integrity. I hit a T when I didn't mean to. Project. It's an academic research project based in Harvard and Sydney universities. Yeah, so this isn't even, you're just taking a third party going, hey, we think this might be. Man, this is as bad as their trust and safety committees from the, we bring in the ADL and the SPLC. Fuck you. Just fuck you. Where are we? Election integrity run by Alex Stamos. Comms escalates a lot of content tied to press inquiries about election issues. So the press is hitting them up too. Well, we already knew this. I mean, remember Taylor lost her little buddy there, so she can't report shit anymore.
No.
Is there some way that we can figure out an accommodation to prioritize the reports we escalate, particularly in light of the depreciation of Go election escalations? Although every tweet is valued, I believe it is likely that our reports are that our reports are the most credible and most urgent, at least for the next week. This went out on the 28th of October. So going into the election, they are the most important people.
Well, of course.
Let me reset the stream for content. Merry Christmas. Catch up when you can, Hyman. Good to see you, my friend. Really appreciate any assistance or guidance you can provide. Thanks, Stacia. Her name is on a lot of this shit. We're seeing her more than Yoel these days.
Yeah, you probably passed it off. Like, you deal with this. I don't want to.
Well, and she's directly part of this team that they put together to, kick people off because the FBI asked them to.
Yeah.
So what they're saying here basically is, look, we know that there's people out there, just randos, who are telling us that there's bad stuff, but for the next week, could we just listen to the FBI, Homeland Security, Election Integrity Project, and the press? Those got to be the important ones. I got to be honest with you, Jack. I can, if you give me links, I can look at and read. Jesus, probably. I'm going to go low, 50 tweets an hour easily. They're only 280 characters at most. And in that time, I could tell you whether or not they actually broke rules or not pretty quickly.
Yeah, Monkey, but you have to clear your head with 15 minutes of meditation, maybe a glass of wine, some goof off time in the library. Look, this is a lot of work you're putting on someone.
Pirate Radio sarcastically says, nothing fashy to see here, right? Yeah, we for the next week, we're going to basically edit Twitter based on the what the government tells us to say. Ain't that some shit?
Fucking crazy.
Has anyone seen Elvis Chan? He's no Elvis. I think I saw a picture of him. Anyhow, the FBI was clearly tailoring searches to Twitter's policy. FBI requests were almost always phrased as possible terms of service violations somewhere, even in the subject line, which in this one it says, this is from, speaking of Elvis, from Elvis, possible terms of service violation. Yeah, we've noticed that over and over again. And as we pointed out, the FBI's job is not to be out there making sure Twitter enforces its service violations.
Apparently they are.
Twitter executives noticed the FBI appeared to be assigning personnel to look for Twitter violations. They have some folks in the Baltimore field office and at headquarters that are just doing keyword searches for violation. This is probably the 10th request I've dealt with in the last 5 days, remarked Stacia Cardell. And then they just offer the proof right there. Even ex-FBI lawyer Jim Baker agreed. Odd that they're searching for violation of our policies. Did any of you reach out to them and go, excuse me, why are you guys spending your time on this? Did any of you go, we're not going to listen to you on that? Sorry, we got our own things to do.
Why would they want to do that?
Not one of you. But I like how Jim's trying to play along. Yeah, that is odd. Come on, Jim. Come on, Jim. Let's see your bank account. Were you still being paid by the FBI? Let me see your bank account, homie.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this was some kind of op.
Were you getting Bitcoin? Wink, wink, off the record? Don't tell me that the FBI was getting all of these people. They had so many ex-FBI agents that they had their own cheat sheet to let these guys know what the terms they were going to be running into meant. Yeah. They had their own little club of, what they call them, ex-boo? Boo alum? Boo alum, that's what it was. Boo, get it? Like a spook? Get it? Yeah. But they spelled it B-U, to be clever. But no. Look, man, there is no reason for you to believe that the FBI inserted people into Twitter and then just happened to have all of this Twitter influence going in to an election right after Chuck Schumer tells us that you shouldn't fuck with the intelligence agencies. Nah, if you put those all together, you're just a conspiracy theorist who's probably looking for Carol in HR. If you don't get that reference, your life makes me sad. I actually watched that episode tonight, Jack.
Oh, yeah?
I just had Lady Monkey was making desserts. Oh man, she made chocolate cream pies. Oh, it was so good. But she's making desserts in the kitchen. I am just, I'm breeding Pokemon is what I was doing. I was breeding Pokemon and I turned on the TV and that one eventually came on. I fucking love that episode. Carol. There's no Carol in HR. Half of the people in this building. Anyway. Although so much of this activity was domestic, foreign meddling had been the ostensible justification for expanded moderation since the platforms like Twitter were dragged to the Hill by the Senate in 2017. This is from a New York Times article. Twitter tech execs are contrite about election meddling, but make few promises on Capitol Hill. Well, there wasn't a whole lot that they could make promises about. One, I'm going to go on record saying this as clearly as I can. The nonsense about the interference from Russia is just that. It's nonsense. It was so minor that you can't actually point to any change in polling, in the actual election itself, nothing. Times when they know, they're like, look, they spent quite a bit of money here. You know what the changing in polling was? 0. Nothing changed. But they had to grab onto something, and they had a chance to smear the Russians who had embarrassed Obama. And Trump did say, hey, wink, wink, if you guys could get into Hillary's emails, we'd all like to see them. And so obviously he was working with the Russians. The whole thing was a fucking op. The whole thing. There's absolutely no indication that it changed anything. Nothing. But they drugged these guys up on the Hill, what, 4 or 5 times? 4 or 5. Like, hey, how are you going to stop this in the future? And they're like, I mean, I guess we could like not take ads from those guys during elections. And that was it. That was it. Anyhow, sorry. Yet behind the scenes, Twitter executives struggled against government claims of foreign interference on their platform and others. I don't understand what I'm looking there. It's an FITF referral IRA account on Reddit. Closed project, whatever. The hashtag Twitter files show execs under constant pressure to validate theories of foreign influence and unable to find evidence for key assertions. Sorry, I say it different. I say it the British style, the way they say aluminum. I don't know why I do it with assertions. I've always done it. Assertion. Fuck off. Found no links to Russia, says one analyst, but suggests he could brainstorm to find a stronger connection. All right. Yeah, we didn't find anything, but I could look hard. I mean, I can try to make some shit up. We saw this, 2 files ago where the FBI was like, this is foreign, right? No, nah, bro. Like, oh, but you can take it down anyway. The whole thing was to do just what happened. It's 9/11, Jack, where we get the Patriot Act. Mm-hmm. Except for this was not a law. This was the Russians did this. So now we have to have all of this extra access.
Well, they've decided that they've figured out they don't need a law. They can just do whatever they want. And if Congress passes law, great. But there's no consequence for not obeying the laws.
Nope. I mean, I suppose we could read this one. Hi, blank. After I reviewed the accounts and found no links to Russia, I asked blank on this ticket, and this was his answer. Thanks for tagging in the workflow. From my checks, I could not find any indicators to suggest that this account blank is Russian. Even the other phone linked accounts does not have any indication to suggest it is Russian proxy. Did checks via domain tools for the IP resolves and email checks for OSINT. However, going by the content and narrative coming out of the account, it's definitely pro-Russian and or could be a Russian proxy. I can brainstorm with blank and see if we can dig even deeper and try to find a stronger connection. So you have an account that is pro-Russian. I don't know if you guys know this. There are pro-Russian people in the United States. We've had pro-Russian people in the audience before, Jack.
Oh yeah.
But no. It's go find me this link, please. We did the fucking IP checks. We did the email checks. None of this shit's coming back Russian, but I can try to make it work. Extremely tenuous circumstantial chance of being related, says another. Looked into this here. Didn't find any exact naming matches and really any information to link the Reddit accounts to any on-platform presence at Twitter. There was one account that has an incredibly tenuous circumstantial chance of being related, so documented the account here just in case we ever need to come back to it. Created in a similar time frame. Are you login? Sus English name. His name was Vladimir, but they spelled it like an American would. That's my guess. What do you mean by pro-Russian? This predates Ukraine. So pro-Russian in this case would probably be somebody saying something like I did just a little bit ago, where it's like there's absolutely no indication that the Russians had anything to do with changing the outcome of the 2020 election. Or sorry, the 2016 election. No real matches using the info, says former Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth in another case, noting some links were clearly Russian, but another was a house rental in South Carolina.
Hate to correct you, but I think what they meant was the pro-Russian people we had in chat.
Oh, if you're talking about the pro-Russian people we've had in chat, we've had people come out and say that Russia is better than the United States. Flat out say it. So,
well, we had that one guy that said North Korea was only down because we were shitting on them.
Oh yeah,
He'd go
we
there.
get weird people in here.
Every now and then somebody pops up.
Yeah. I don't just assign like pro-Russia to somebody. I mean, there's examples. In another case, Roth concluded a series of Venezuelan pro-Maduro accounts are unrelated to Russian Internet Research Agency because they're too high volume. See, this is what I was talking about. Even if you go back to 2016 and you look at the cases where they said, here were the Russians interfering. You know what happened in every one of those cases? They were incredibly small volume. That's it. They had no reach. And what they never talk about anymore, some of them were pro-Hillary.
Look, we don't talk about that because that goes against the narrative.
Yeah. The smart play there is that the Russians were trying to cause chaos in our election, which I don't doubt they were doing, Jack. But they weren't good at it. It didn't affect anything. But it sure did get these guys going for 2020, or give them the excuse to go for 2020.
Yeah.
80 people assigned to pay attention to what is being tweeted on Twitter that might be election interference.
Well, you can imagine what 86,000 IRS agents could get up to if the FBI can afford to do this nonsense. I mean, the Pentagon only lost $2 billion that nobody knows where it went. Can you imagine what they could fund with that kind of money?
Well, several lawyers at Twitter.
Yeah.
$3 million of your money, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're looking at here. $3.5 million, $3.4 million.
So this is insane. I mean, the fact that they have the budget for this is ridiculous.
The Venezuelans were, quote, extremely high volume tweeters, pretty uncharacteristic of a lot of other IRA activity, Roth says. See? Everybody knows that the Russians weren't that involved. But that's not what you hear out there. The Russians interfered with the election. You know, the only person who's come out, a major person who's come out and said the Russians weren't doing that, it was Trump, and he said it was because it was the Chinese.
Yeah, which I would find much more believable.
I haven't seen evidence that the Chinese had any major impact either, but the Russians certainly didn't.
Oh, was it trillions they lost?
It was trillions, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised then.
In a key email, news that the State Department is making a wobbly public assertion of Russian influence leads an exec, the same one with the OGA past, to make a damning admission. I think we should just read the whole thing here, right? Well, let's read what Roth shows us, and then we'll read the whole thing. Due to a lack of technical evidence on our end, I've generally left it be, waiting for more evidence. Our window on that is closing, given that the government partners are becoming more aggressive on attribution. And this is flagged from GEC to Yoel Roth, Integrity, whatever. Yep, InfoBricks is an entity that we've received previous notice on, though if recollection serves, government partners have never been so specific as to say that it was directly controlled by the GRU. That's Russian intelligence. BRICS is an inherently Russian-dominated economic organization, so it was always likely to be a website, and Twitter's account designed to promote it would be directed by the Kremlin. Due to lack of technical evidence on our end, you mean evidence?
No, just technical evidence. They have lots of accusations. That counts these days because they leak it to the press, and then they say, hey, the press reported on this, therefore evidence.
Due to a lack of technical evidence on our end, I've generally left it be, waiting for more evidence. I think that our window is closing, given that government partners are becoming more aggressive on attribution and reporting on it. I'm going to go ahead with suspension and marking the domain as unsafe. We have no evidence of this, but we're going to go ahead and mark it as unsafe and block it.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Rebel Inside was a new one for me too. Not even sure what the goal of the account could possibly be, other than to highlight unrest in other areas of the world besides Russia. I've already suspended it and marked its domain unsafe, because an account is pointing out unrest around the world.
Yeah, that makes it unsafe. How dare you violate our narrative? Peace in our time.
Speaking of narrative, did you see the Taliban has finally kicked all girls out of school?
Yeah, and they're not allowed to hold non-government organization jobs either.
Don't worry, guys. When we leave, they're not going to treat women any differently.
They promised. They pinky swore.
They did. We called it out as bullshit at the time, but if you did so, you were just a downer. You just hated Biden.
Just a negative Nancy. I can be both. I can hate Biden, be a downer, and be correct at the same time.
True story. Merry Christmas, guys. Translation: the more aggressive government partners had closed Twitter's window of independence. Yeah. Other government agencies ended up sharing intelligence through the FBI and FITF, not just with Twitter, but with Yahoo, Twitch, Cloudflare, LinkedIn, even Wikimedia. And there's just a link.
Well, I don't think anybody should be surprised that Wikimedia is, working with them. But fucking Yahoo, what are you scraping? You going after web crawler and Alta Vista next?
Yahoo still Yahoo News still does well.
Really?
That's who they were going after here. I told you guys, I've been telling you, it's not just social media. I guarantee you this shit was going on at the New York Times, the Washington Post, NBC, ABC, CBS, all of them.
Anyone remotely sympathetic on the left.
They were all getting this kind of information. CIA whistleblower John, holy fuck. Kirikou?
No, I don't think that's his name.
Kirikou? Kirikou? I don't know. CIA whistleblower. Fuck.
He's
Well, he
not
already blew
finished.
the whistle, so a whistleblower is actually a better term.
I don't think that's a word.
What is the past tense of blow? Blue.
Blue, but bluer, I don't think is a word.
It is now because and it makes more sense. Anyway,
Oh, it identifies as bluer. I see.
CIA whistleblower John Kirikou believes these reports found in the Twitter files are written by his former agency. Quote, looks right on to me. What was cut off above the tear line was the original CIA office and the copied offices. Oh, let's take a look. I'm guessing up here somewhere would be. All right. These reports are. I should not read when I'm scrolling.
Probably not a good idea.
These reports are far more factually controversial than domestic counterparts. One intel report lists accounts tied to Ukraine neo-Nazi propaganda. What? In 2020? No.
I'm shocked.
That's back when we were allowed to point out that these fuckers are Nazis. Not allowed to say that anymore, guys. Remember, Stunning and Brave, the most heroic man ever. Go Ukraine. Woohoo.
Yeah, wave that flag. You got to wear the flag of Ukraine in the U.S. Congress now.
I mean, I'm torn here, Jack, because I don't want Russia to win. I don't necessarily want them to lose either. Stalemate would be fine for me.
Yeah.
But I can't bring myself to cheer on Nazis. It's never been something I do.
Yeah, it kind of goes against what we were raised with, with Nazis being vile, evil scumbags and all that. Plus, it's amazing how many people that are pro-Antifa types seem to support Ukraine.
Question here. Does anybody know how much support the Germans have given to Ukraine? I'm very curious.
They probably have some old paraphernalia laying around. Saying
they've donated uniforms.
Yeah, Hugo Boss designed them. Where are these?
I'm very curious because there's certain things you can't even say in Germany related to Nazis.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious how much of their money has gone to the Ukrainians with the laws that they have regarding Nazism.
It's just under the Fatherland Fund.
I suppose so. It would be funny if they've donated uniforms. That would make my day. Somebody find out that the Germans, somebody make that happen for me, that the Germans have donated uniforms to the Ukraine. All right. Anyway, one intel report lists accounts tied to Ukrainian neo-Nazi propaganda. This includes assertion that Joe Biden helped orchestrate a coup in 2014 and put his son on the board of Burisma. I mean, he did.
Yeah.
When
it's on video where he said he was blackmailing them effectively.
The guy who preceded Vladimir Zelensky, he came to power in 2014, right?
I think so.
Because you have 2014, and this is when the fighting starts over in the Donbass region, and leads to a civil war nobody talked about for 8 fucking years, and still they don't talk about.
Yeah.
But it was maybe it was 2012. I want to say it was 2014. But anyway, you have this new guy come to power.
Crimea got annexed, and didn't we overthrow that guy so we could get rid of him because he was pro-Russian?
Possibly. Because he was pro-Russian, and you have this new guy come in who turns out to be a dickbag, and that Zelensky supported, and then he turns out to be a dickbag. Zelensky comes out and he says, I really should have looked harder at who this guy, who he was, because he turns out to be a bad guy. I'm a good guy. And so they hire him instead as their president in 2019?
Maybe. Sounds right.
The fat man, thank you. Oh, monkey, all my friends agree that those food combinations are freaky. How many different times do I have to keep eating M&Ms and Doritos before I cannot like it? How many gotta know? Thank you, Fat Man. Well, it depends on how you're eating it. If you eat it properly and you don't like it, that's fine. But here's the secret: one M&M, and you bite it one time. Peanut M&M, by the way, and then you take 2 to 3 Doritos and stick them in your mouth and chew them all up together. If you've done that and you don't like it, fair enough. Thank you for the donations. Merry Christmas, my friend.
I say try it with the regular M&Ms, but that's just me. Or a Hershey. Some squares.
I've never tried it with Hershey, but I can see. I'm not a fan of the chocolate in M&Ms unless it's with a peanut.
Yeah, it really is an acquired taste. Hershey's slightly different, sweeter, but yeah, try it with different chocolates until you find one you like.
And look, this isn't just me. If it was just me, like say the hot dogs with ranch, which by the way, there are people who've tried it and said they like it, that'd be fine. But even Jack here is telling you, yeah, it can be good. How dare you? But anyway, so they're trying to take down this tweet. Go ahead. What?
What do you mean, even Jack? Like I have no taste buds or something?
No, even you, meaning you disagree with me on my food a lot, but on the chocolate and Doritos, you agree.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
No, you have what they would consider a more refined palate.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
Okay,
garbage food taste. Yours is just worse than mine.
At least on the subjects we've discussed. How about that?
That's fair.
Fair.
And Backscan said monkey eats like a pothead, and that's saying something coming from me.
I actually do, and I don't smoke. I don't partake. I just eat like one. I can't help it. But I want to
pothead friends so you can be like, you guys got anything to eat?
They won't let me over to their houses because he's gonna eat all our shit. Anyhow, I want to talk about this one because this is important. This is one intel agency listed this tweet here, or what was linked to their tweet, where it points out that yes, Joe Biden, whether you want to say he was active in the 2014 coup or not, appreciated it. And this does start a lot of the fighting between Ukraine and Russia, because they did have a very pro-Russian president until that point.
Yeah.
It points out Hunter Biden, not having any real reason to be working at Burisma.
Hate fact.
The one thing it misses is that it wasn't until his son got on the board that he suddenly cared about Ukraine.
Well, yeah, that's when all the money laundering, contributions happened.
And so this is, and they don't tell us what agency, and maybe it's down below. They don't tell us what agency points this out. This is an intelligence agency from the United States working to lie about Joe Biden's past. And we saw that. Right. We saw that all through the election, Jack, about how they took Joe Biden's actual record and just hid the fuck out of it. Thank you, Fat Man. Merry Christmas, Monkey and Jack. Oh, God, that's... Uh-oh. And Wabajack, thank you. From Shio and I, merry or happy, whatever doesn't offend y'all, nuggies. Thank you, Wabajack. I'm saying Merry Christmas today. Happy holidays to everybody, but Merry Christmas today because it's Christmas.
It is.
And
it is.
I guess Happy Hanukkah, because is it a day of Hanukkah right now?
I have no idea anything about Hanukkah, but happy solstice, happy Yule.
You guys are getting some kind of homemade dreidel right now?
Yeah, sad toys. I hope you get real presents someday if you're Jewish.
Someday Santa will visit. Did you see that fucking asshole Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, I don't.
Trying to ruin Christmas.
He's a dick. He doesn't like fun. He must be the most miserable person on the planet.
He's kind of a douchebag, actually. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, thank you, your FBI agent, for the ranch and hot dog. Cut off your tongue.
That shit's good.
The solstice was on the 21st. Yeah, but I didn't know that, so I don't care.
Another report asserts a list of accounts accusing the Biden administration of corruption in vaccine distribution are part of a Russian influence campaign.
Oh no, the Russians.
We also assess with high confidence that the IRA, again, that's Russian intelligence, guys, was responsible, or that's Russian government, right? GRU is intelligence. I can't remember.
I can't keep them straight. So
One or the other, Russian government, responsible in mid-February 2022 for producing and placing media and social media information in multiple languages to include French, English, and Spanish on the following two narratives. One, that Western Europeans in Africa were not acting in the best interest of the African nations and specifically were involved in intimidation, coercion, and blackmail in the Sahara-Sahel zone, and were not interested in helping to fight terrorism in the Sahel. Sahel, I don't know how you say that. And two, the Biden administration was selling better places in the COVID vaccine queue to countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, and therefore, U.S. corruption was influencing the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. I've never heard that one.
oh,
Is that, I mean, is that true? I would have to see the list of countries and how they were being distributed, to be honest. I would not doubt it, though. Sorry, I've seen too much corruption from Biden.
yeah, no shit.
Often intelligence comes in the form of brief reports followed by long lists of accounts deemed to be pro-Maduro, pro-Cuba, pro-Russia, etc. This batch contains over 1,000 accounts sentenced to the digital beyond. Jesus fuck. These accounts were found to be linked to Maduro in Venezuela, Diaz-Canel in Cuba regimes, and propagated anti-Bolsonaro, pro-Lula hashtags, but have not been previously reported. All right. And this says batch 7, Jack.
Jesus.
One report says a site documenting purported rights abuses committed by Ukrainians is directed by Russian agents.
Doesn't make it untrue.
And look who gets tagged: Apple, Facebook, Reddit, LinkedIn, and Cloudflare. Cloudflare might sound, what's the word I'm looking for here? Familiar to you guys. Cloudflare came up in the Keffels thing. Cloudflare doesn't run domains. What they do is run protection for domains. And that's what they took away from Kiwi Farms during all of that. So they're going after the places that would help keep a site safe.
Yeah, so they could get hacked easier or DDoSed.
DDoSed, yeah. We assess the tragedy of Donbass, a website documented purported human rights abuses committed by Ukrainians since 2014, is directed by the Russian General Staff Main Intelligence Directorate, GRU. I just want to remind you guys that our government was doing the same shit. I mean, I don't want to say that, I don't know if the Russians were doing this, but we do know that they were using Twitter for propaganda purposes. This isn't even using Twitter for propaganda purposes. This is using an external website, and they're like, oh, you need to block this website. Intel about the origin of these accounts might be true, but so might be the information in them about neo-Nazis or the right abuses in Donbass, etc. Well, let's see, Jack. Let's have a conversation for a second.
Uh-oh.
Who was fighting for the Ukrainians in the Donbass region from 2014 to 2022? It was the Azov. The Azov battalion.
You mean the Nazis?
The Nazis. What do you think the chances are that Nazis were capable of human rights abuses?
What?
I mean, there's kind of a history there. It's not like we have to guess.
Oh, monkey. You're gonna get the Jews after us.
correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the Nazis like kill 6 million people just because they didn't like them?
Something like that, yeah.
Jews, gypsies, gay folks. Didn't they just like mass murder these people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they allowed the gas to kill them. Does that count? I don't know how they defend this nonsense.
But
Yeah.
suddenly Nazis in Ukraine, they're gonna be like, no, we are moral Nazis. We have a whole bunch of high moral principles now because we're Ukrainian Nazis. This is a difficult speech dilemma. Should the government be allowed to try and prevent Americans and others from seeing pro-Maduro or anti-Ukrainian accounts? No, they shouldn't. You know what? This is the same thing. It's free speech. Look, if you find them lying, then point out that they're lying. There you go. End of story. Have your folks over at Snopes who lie anyway. How come there was no... I haven't seen Snopes pop up in this with like, yeah, they're spreading bad propaganda.
Well, I mean,
I haven't seen the Washington Post pop up here with their lie list of Trump, which was largely a bunch of lies. I don't know. Those poor Nazis being lied about out there in Ukraine.
yeah. Oh, the horror.
13,000 Ukrainians killed between 2014 and 2022 in the war that was going on there, largely by the Azov battalion. But don't worry, no human rights abuses. Often intel reports are just a long list of newspapers, tweets, and YouTube videos guilty of anti-Ukraine narratives. Oh, I got to reach out to him. I wonder if my name is on there.
Probably, you bigot.
Look, that's what I get.
Ukrainian monster.
That is what I really got banned for, was arguing with a pro-Ukrainian guy. I've said much worse to different people and never got in trouble for it.
That's true, you have.
And I was not breaking their rules here, but I got it for targeted abuse. The only way it can be targeted abuse is if I was targeting the Ukrainians. Merry Christmas to you as well, BLT. And Merry Christmas to everybody. If you haven't heard us say it yet, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, I got to reach out to Matt Tiabi and ask him, hey, can you do a search? Can you do a search and find out if one of the accounts that got hit for anti-Ukrainian natives or narratives was Ranting Monkey? And look, guys, I don't think that's because, oh, the government is targeting me. It's because the government was going out there and putting in searches the same way that they were doing during the election. They have 80 people sitting around on your dime going, who said fuck Ukraine? Uh-oh, there's one.
You bigot. I forgot that Nazis are a protected class now.
I know, right? Sometimes, not always, Twitter and YouTube block the accounts. But now we know for sure what Roth meant by the Bureau and by extension, the IC. Privileged and confidential. Hi, team. More questions we received are attached, and frankly, perplexed by the request here, which seemed more like something we'd get from a congressional committee than the Bureau. I thought we knew that Bureau was FBI. There's a big discussion to be had about state-controlled media, which will be impacted by the label launcher later this month. But I'm not particularly comfortable with the Bureau and by extension the IC demanding written answers here. What's your perspective on how best to navigate? And this was a letter that they got from, I think it was directly from Elvis Chan. Don't quote me on that. But from Elvis Chan, where it was like, we need you to answer all of these things about how you're doing your searches and the measures you're taking to get rid of people who say things we don't like. The line between misinformation and distorting propaganda is thin. I mean, no. Jack, I'm so glad you sent me that book or told me about that book and go get it. because propaganda is misunderstood. Propaganda is just a selling point. It can be true, it can be false. But everybody has it in their head that it's the word propaganda itself is negative. It's not. You can have positive propaganda. The movie trailers you see, that's propaganda. And I guess you could make the argument that some movie trailers are negative propaganda.
Yeah.
But thank you, understatement. Mary, baby, that was believed to be the son of Godmas. Also, happy Kwanzaa. May you live all the Nguzu Saba, Ujoma, Ujima, Ujama, Kijuchala, Kumba, Ilmani, and Nia.
I'm
Jack,
pretty sure you just summoned a monster in Africa.
but not at my house, so it's okay. Jack, you eat with an Asian family yearly and still have no Asian wife. I'm disappointed. Thank you, understatement, and Merry Christmas, sir.
Me too, understatement. Merry Christmas.
But anyway, the line between misinformation and distorting propaganda is thin. We are comfortable with so many companies receiving so many reports from a more aggressive government. Are we more? Anyway, CIA declined to comment on the nature of its relationship with tech companies like Twitter. Watch Barry Weiss, Schellenberg, MD, I.H. Fang. That's the guy who had the one the other day. And this space for more on issues ranging from COVID to Twitter's relationship to Congress and more. Now, I've been saying this, and we got a small glimpse of it here today. I want to see the COVID one. I want to see the COVID one and what these dirty shits were up to with the government telling people they can and cannot say shit about COVID. I want to see whether or not the rule that came down like, hey, you guys can't talk about how this was made in a lab came from Twitter itself, or if the government told them that. Because we know what happened when Fauci found out there were people saying that this was made in a lab. Him and one of his little cronies went to different scientific journals and said, these people are lying, and tried to destroy their careers. We know that happened. Rand Paul asked him about this. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What I did? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? So I want to see that stuff, Jack. I'm very curious. Oh, anyhow. So there it is, guys. There's the latest dump. They didn't number this one, but I labeled it 9. So we might have a 9.2 when they dump the next one. I'm getting real tired of the press not covering this. I really am.
That's not going to change, though. They have no reason to cover it because it goes against the regime. It goes against their favorites.
And as I've said repeatedly, they are involved. I have no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I do not have hard proof on that, but you tell me how they happen to be in lockstep with Twitter on all of this stuff. Just coincidence?
I think not.
I don't believe that much in coincidence, Jack.
I don't either.
And we know from going back to like the Obama years, Obama used to have weekly press meetings in secret where they told these guys what stories they wanted them to cover.
Yep.
And they did it.
That's a natural extension from that behavior.
Yeah. So you have all of these people who were working. Look, YouTube, I know you don't like us talking about election integrity. I'll be with you. Look, the votes themselves were all fine. Okay. No vote changed because, there's no fake votes, no fraudulent votes. Okay. You hear me? But there was absolutely election interference. A ton of it. We didn't even need to see this shit to know that. We saw all the ways that they buried Biden's history. We saw the Chris Wallace, I was going to say debate, but that's not really what it was. The Chris Wallace argument with Donald Trump, where Crazy Joe just stood off to the side. Crazy Uncle Joe stood off to the side and didn't really do much. We saw the lies over and over there. We knew that there was, the fortification. We couldn't let Trump win. And you know what? It doesn't have anything to do with the votes. I'm not even talking about that. But this absolutely was an election that was manufactured by your government with people who will fuck with you 6 ways to Sunday, Jack. Which, by the way, I've always heard it's 7 ways to Sunday. I don't know why he only has 6.
Well, they take a day off to rest.
I guess so. They're busy. I mean, when they're fucking you over that hard, they get tired.
Yeah, they need to drink some Gatorade and take a nap. Hey, real quick, thank you, The Science. Do you really want to see that you may be patient monkey?
I really do, and I'm willing to accept that responsibility. I really don't like what happened here, and I really don't like that so many people are just on a team sport level looking at it. Think what you want about Republicans and Democrats from the past. There would always be a time where they're like, no, this is too much. No, our side went too far. Watergate being one of the best, Jack.
Yeah.
One of the most noticeable. Where Republicans were like, yeah, fuck him. There should be a line where you care more about your country than you care about your party. And it's just not happening. And it's disgusting. And this is how you know the press is biased. If you've ever doubted me telling you that the press is biased, look what has happened. Tucker outed Libs at TikTok. Actually, he didn't. She's going to be on his show Tuesday where she's going to have her face revealed, Jack.
Yeah, she volunteered to do it. It's in the promo.
Yep. Because it's played up like he did, and I went and watched it. I'm like, you jackass, you kept your face covered the whole time. But at the end, he tells you that, yeah, on Tuesday she'll be on, and they'll have the face.
Well, she's already been doxxed. I mean, that people already know what she looks like. Understatement said, have you heard Destiny's take on this? Of course, conservatives are blowing out of proportion.
I haven't watched Destiny in a couple of weeks, so no, I haven't.
Nothing of value was lost.
I enjoy hearing Destiny's takes, but he's gotten way too involved in the sneakos and the fresh and fit area of YouTube, and it's just boring me because there's not really anything happening there.
Yeah, it's like boring drama. It's not even interesting drama.
Yeah, and arguing over. I mean, when I stopped watching, he was still involved with the Mr. Girl stuff, which had blown up in his face because, of course, it did. You were supporting a weird pedophile who, oddly enough, Jack, when he got just a little pushback, tried burying Destiny. He tried going to women that Destiny's known to have hooked up with and asking them, like, did he rape you? Did he sexually assault you? Can I have your story? He was trying to get some horrible story, and all the girls were like, no, we just had sex. But he tried to do it, and the girls who were still friendly with Destiny came to Destiny going, by the way, do you know what this shithead's doing? Destiny actively campaigned for Warnock. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm not shocked by that. He's still Apex Algorithm Guy. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. It's my birthday today. May I have a birthday song? Of course you may. Apex, this is for you. And a 1 and a 2.
Happy birthday
to you.
To you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Apex Algorithm.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Thank you for always, hitting the like and giving a comment after the videos. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. With Destiny, I mean, real quick, Destiny wants to get more involved in like canvassing and stuff, and he has in the last 2 election cycles. So I'm not shocked he went down there for Warnock. But go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
Thank you, CIA. We can always do more. Just ask JFK.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. They can take a little off the top, if you know what I mean. Jack, I did look into the FBI or the CIA files that came out, the JFK files. And several of the documents that they released were documents they'd already released, but they just uncovered some of the names involved. I mean, it's largely the same fucking documents they've already released. But there is a connection to the CIA now. There's a connection between the CIA and Oswald, which we kind of knew.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a time frame that doesn't get talked about very often. He's trained, doesn't really do very well in the military, but then he suddenly goes over to Russia, and then we have the shooting down of the U-2 spy plane. And there is a belief out there that the CIA purposefully let him give that information, to ingratiate himself. And then he comes back from Russia. They give him a small debriefing, and he's allowed to just go back about his life. Somebody who denounced his citizenship.
To go to the Soviet Union, our greatest enemy at the time. That seems a little questionable to me.
It's weird. He might as well have tattooed CIA on his head. Now, this doesn't tell us that there was another shooter, Jack. There was. It doesn't tell us that the CIA was actually involved in having Kennedy shot. They were. But it does make the link a lot stronger. It does verify stuff people have been speculating about since Kennedy was shot. Well, let me rephrase that. Since Oswald was shot. Because nobody can figure out why Ruby kills Oswald. And his thing, I wanted to spare Mrs. Kennedy the pain of a trial. Fuck off. This man, when Oswald is arrested, what does he say? I'm a patsy. I'm a patsy. Because he knew what was about to happen to his ass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he knew that they were setting him up after the event. He didn't realize it at the time, but I think he realized afterward, they're like, I'm the fall guy. Oh, shit.
Yep. Whether he was the actual shooter, Jack, let's say for argument's sake, he was the lone shooter. It's still possible he didn't realize he was the fall guy. Like, how did they know immediately to go to the book depository and find him specifically?
Yeah, it's a weird one.
It is. And the CIA being involved in killing the president of the United States should be a major fucking story. The revelations about Oswald, that people have been called conspiracy theorists for years. Whether or not you believe that the CIA was involved in killing Kennedy, they were absolutely involved with Oswald. He absolutely was working for the CIA. And there's no getting around that. Vanilla Bear, Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Merry Christmas, Vanilla Bear.
Oh, man. I'm so happy it's Christmas. I really am. The only downside is I really need to get to sleep. I've been sleeping like shit lately, Jack. I sleep for a couple of hours. I might be in bed. Lady Monkey yesterday, she said to me, you sleep so much. I'm like, no, I don't, baby. I might be in bed a lot, but I ain't sleeping. And like yesterday, Jack, I woke up around 11 for the final time. And I say the final time because I went to bed about 7 or maybe 6 and easily woke up a dozen times. I just can't stay asleep. And it's not even like pain or anything waking me up. I just keep waking up.
I can't relate to that at all.
And then I took about an hour nap on the couch and then went to bed about 6 and woke up at 11 again with the same waking up every 15 fucking minutes. It's just pissing me off. On the other hand, I'm in a very good mood for not having much sleep.
Yeah, you get kind of like goofy and then you start seeing things.
My kitty cat, did I tell you that she only comes upstairs when I'm up there?
Uh-huh.
I went to take her upstairs old-fashioned style on my shoulder. And we get to the top and the dog is there. And she's cool because she's on Dad's shoulder. And I go to set her down on the chest freezer, which is where she usually lays. And right as she goes to get down, he makes a little jump at her. So her claws come out.
Oh,
And I now have, it looks like a tribal tattoo was started on the corner of my arm because she scratched the fuck out of me. Oh, but she's so cute.
Yeah, they're lucky they're cute, because if they weren't, there won't be any.
He wants to play with her, and you can't explain to animals, right? And so she'll like come out of the bedroom when he's downstairs, and he'll go walk up to her, and she'll cower a little bit, and then she'll take off running, and he thinks, cool, we're playing. So
Yeah.
he takes off running after her, which just makes her more scared.
He's used to being around cats, though, and she's not used to being around dogs.
Yeah, and the other cats, I mean, they'll just run from him and go hide somewhere. But he's so cute because he's I'll have to tell you that part offline. But,
No understatement. He's dog sitting.
Yeah, I'm dog sitting right now.
Real quick, thank you, Apex Algorithm. Merry Christmas, Jack. Hope you have a good day, bud. Thank you, Apex. I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah, he's a dog that licks constantly. Like if you go to touch him, he will lick your hand. This is why I don't own a dog, because they lick all the time. I don't like to be licked.
That gets a little annoying, especially if they have bad breath and they're going for your face.
Luckily, he doesn't have bad breath, and he does stay away from my face unless he catches me sleeping. He did that tonight when I took a nap on the couch right before dinner, and he gets right in my face and licked it one time right across my nose. I'm like, you fucking idiot. Get away from me. But it's better than when he accidentally licks my nipples. I can't wear a shirt most of the time.
Oh.
I've told you guys this. It just hurts. So he'll come in. He needs to see me. And so when Lady Monkey and him wake up, she takes him outside, and then she brings him in here, and he comes, and he's a tall dog. And apparently, I found this out, when I sit in this chair and he comes in, his mouth is at nipple level. And yeah, that's not enjoyable at all. I feel like you shouldn't have to teach a dog, don't lick my nipples.
I don't know what to say to that.
That has been my week, Jack. Oh, it's gross. Oh, so nasty. I don't like him licking my hand. I definitely don't want him licking my nipples.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh yeah, the Merry Christmas nipple licking story.
Yeah.
Look, I share with my audience. I don't hold back. That I feel like that gives us a better connection, y'all. And that'll make y'all buy more monkey tokens. Gotta buy them monkey coins, y'all. Oh, that's so gross. Just thinking about it. He's licked my armpit several times when I'm sleeping, and that's nasty. Stop licking. I want to just cut off his tongue. Thanks for that lovely Christmas tale for the ages, Monkey. You're welcome. You're welcome. Could always get pasties. It's probably not a bad idea. But just stop licking. I don't like dogs licking me. Monk, seriously, what? I'm just telling you what's happened. I didn't ask the dog. I didn't put peanut butter on my nipple. He's at the right height. Oh my God, he stood up on Lady Monkey on his back legs today. He is as tall as she is. This dog is 5'2". That's a big ass dog.
Nah, she's just really short.
Oh, she is short, but that is big for a dog, man. I look over in the kitchen. She's like, why are you standing on me? And I look over and she's got his front paws. And yeah, motherfucker's as tall as she is. And he really, really likes to go outside. And I've been taking him outside, but it's cold as shit. And you know what he does? He walks over and he sits down in the snow. I'm like, why do you want a frozen butthole? What is that?
It's a dog fetish.
Why? He's been fixed, so it's not for his nads. It's just his butthole's touching snow, and that's got to be uncomfortable.
He likes a little bit of chill on his butthole after a good poop.
What dog is it? If you're talking about what breed, they got a DNA thing done for him, He's mostly German Shepherd. I don't remember one of the breeds he is a pointer dog, and he does point, which is really cool to see.
He's like, there it is.
Yeah, he does the full motion of it and everything. It's really cool. He can do all kinds of tricks. He can roll over and bark and do a circle standing up and get down, stand up. He's a very, very smart dog. He just likes to sit with his ass in the snow. And I'm standing out there, the wind's blowing like fuck. I don't do well in cold anyway, Jack. I'm like, dog, we are not sitting out here so you can have a frozen asshole. That is not what we're doing today.
Is it?
Dogs are weirdos, but they're great company, though. You look, because of this dog, I've wanted to get another dog. I just know I couldn't help take care of it at all, and it would all fall to Lady Monkey. So absolutely not. I do like dogs in that way. I love how protective this dog is of like Lady Monkey, and he's gotten worse, Jack. Now, if he hears me downstairs without me saying anything, he'll start barking at me. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's just me. And he's like, oh, hello. And he flops down the stairs.
Oh, hi, friend. When did you get here?
But he's upstairs with Lady Monkey, and he's on protect mode. You better make sure he knows who you are, because there's a lady here, and he is her protector.
You should get yourself a little barky dog so you can find out when murderers are in your yard.
Oh, hell no.
So be like, oh my God, the postman, murderer.
If you can punt it, it's not a dog. That is my rule.
Perhaps. But you could still have a little dog, and then you won't have to worry about it because it'll basically be an indoor dog, and you won't have to do half the stuff you do with a big dog.
No, if we ever got another dog, it'd be similar to him or the one. I would really love to have the one we had before, half German Shepherd, half Saint Bernard. Both of them were purebred. Dad snuck out and banged mom and pissed off 2 owners. But half of the puppies came out. They look like those little fur things that rich women get to put their hands in when it's cold.
Huh.
And you couldn't tell the front end from the back end on these things if they were standing still. And then the other ones looked like German Shepherds on steroids.
Huh.
Yeah. And that breed, oh my God, he was so loyal. Yeah, he did not come near his people without his permission. Think of it this way, he just likes licking a monkey. That's fair, but lick a different monkey. I don't know why he's such a licker, man. He just, I go to pet him, and you got to get past the licking to actually get to pet him. I don't understand that. What else we got going on here? Our Chihuahua kind of like that. I hope you don't mean licking nipples, but only when my stepdad is around. She does not like him. Oh, it's kind of like that. Gotcha.
Barking.
Yeah, I get you.
That's what they do. The little dogs, they warn you of all the secret murderers that are out there. You know, like stray cats and leaves in the wind.
I like a big dog for another reason. This dog, his bark scares people. Because you hear that, whoa, like, whoa, shit. This is going to sound bad. Look, he's all black. So it would not be out of place that if he was a cartoon that it would sound like, wolf, motherfucker, get the fuck out of my yard. It works, and it scares people. And I like it. He looks like a devil dog. It's really sweet. He just needs to stop licking my nipples. Speaking of barky dogs, how's Rico?
Oh, he's fine. He's barking at random stuff. That's what he does. He's a good boy.
What do we got here, Jack?
Oh, a little Christmas article for you.
Oh, sweet.
I want to thank one of our favorite viewers for giving this to me.
Yeah, I saw this yesterday. Sorry about that, Frosted. Didn't he say we have to read to the end?
Yes. Thank you, Frosted.
Summoning Santa with the Ouija board was a terrible idea. Is this a fictional story?
Why don't we find out?
Because if this is somebody who thinks they really talked to Santa through a Ouija board, I'm just giving up on life.
Well, I mean, you should have done that years ago, quite honestly. How long have we been doing this show?
The biggest problem was that most people involved didn't take the Ouija board seriously. They thought it was merely fun and games. Playing with Ouija boards is a bad idea, but messing around with Ouija boards when drunk, high, and having an orgy is infinitely worse. What the fuck?
It's a lot harder to ask questions when you're getting plowed from behind, I imagine.
Who is like, oh yeah, give it to me. Where's the Ouija board? Who in the middle of an orgy is like, we need to summon somebody?
He said read to the end. We haven't made it out of the first paragraph yet.
That's not true. That was the end of the first paragraph. You know what? You had me a drunken high, but when you threw in the orgy, you just made it weird.
That's what made it weird?
Yeah, well, within context of the story, this is what made it weirder.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, and by the way, I see everybody over on the Rumble. Please hit the Rumble button. If you're over on YouTube, please hit the like button. We're brought to you by Ouija Board Santas. Don't forget to buy monkey coins. They will help a poor person in need.
Mostly just monkey.
I didn't say which poor person. It sounds better if it sounds like it's charity.
Maybe. You can donate to us via the Streamlabs link at the top.
Oh no! See, I was going on the coin thing. I've seen how these coins are sold, and what you got to do is make it sound like you're giving some of it to charity, so that people feel like they're buying that coin to help people out. See, it makes you feel better about trying to get rich quick. Man, I was watching the one on the Save the Kids coin. I don't know if you remember when that all blew up. Some video game streamers really pushed this thing and they just rug pulled it immediately. But yeah, I learned from that. It's for the kids.
I watched CoffeeZilla talking about Disrupt and how he was doing like a buy 10% of my channel thing. And he was trying to raise $500,000. It turned out it was just so he could pay off his former co-owner of the channel.
Really? I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, I'll drop the link in the chat. Because yeah, that one was holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I've been binging lately. While I was sitting here playing Pokemon earlier. I just had CoffeeZilla playing. I enjoy his content. I enjoy his delivery of his content. He talks about Mudahar a lot, who sometimes does similar stuff, but I just don't enjoy his delivery as much. Anyhow, Scarlett had obtained, most likely stolen, the board. Okay, all right, Jesus Christ. If you're going to believe in the whole Ouija board stuff, seriously, don't steal one. That's just asking for trouble, Jack. You can't come into it with negativity.
Yeah, it might have been a cursed one too. You don't know.
Have you never seen the board or Ouija or any of this shit?
Yeah, witch board, man. Multiple sadness.
You can't start off by stealing it. That's just going to get a very bad ghost after you.
Yeah, you get bad juju from that. Don't do that.
And she knew the potential results of its use. Connor cranked up Marilyn Manson. Oh my God. You need to turn on like the Carpenters or something.
Nah, you get some Norwegian death metal, like the band that murdered those people. Yeah. You
turn on It's a Small World.
No, I don't care. No, that's an evil song too.
You want to have good vibe. Okay, something happy. Don't worry, be happy. There you go. Because you don't want to have bad vibes going into this.
Evil one. Get some Behemoth on there, some old school Iron Maiden or something sounding devil worshipy, even if it's not.
No, yeah. That's how you get the bad ghost.
If you're drunk, high in an orgy, and you're playing with a stolen Ouija board, I say go full bore. You're already 3/4 of the way there. Why not pour some blood on the planchette too? Like preferably from an unbaptized baby, just
Sacrifice
to
a
really
goat.
seal the deal.
Where are we? Connor
Yeah.
cranked up the Marilyn Manson on the also most likely stolen 3-in-1 portable stereo system. And while he knew the seriousness of what we were messing with, also thought it hilarious. I've seen this movie, Jack.
Right?
I've seen this movie.
Oh, for the festive reasons, you could play the King Diamond Christmas album.
All but one of these people are going to die.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that, though. They don't sound like very good people.
I myself was quite aware of what we were fucking around with. They were, or never mind. But Jazz and the others didn't think much about it. We were bored, and it sounded you were in an orgy and you were bored.
He didn't say they were attractive people, Monkey.
But you still shouldn't be bored.
I don't know. If there's too much blubber, you might get bored trying to scale the mountain, if you know what I'm saying.
You're pounding it, and she's too ugly. And like, oh fuck! I just wish we had something else to do. Has anybody got a game we can play? What? Like you're so bored in an orgy, you want to play like Connect 4. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos naked.
Oh, that's what they were doing, and then they got bored with that. Decided to play a board game.
We were bored. We were bored, and it sounded fun. It turns out that summoning demons wasn't as fun as some people as expected. Really?
I'm shocked.
Scarlett and Connor had finally found housing, if that's what we want to call the top floor of an old dingy house. Neither Jazz nor I lived there, but we hung out there a lot. The core group had always been me, Scarlett, Connor, and Jazz. I need to know, is this a guy or a chick writing this?
It's a chick.
Okay. So, oh wait, is Jazz a boy or a girl?
I'm guessing it's a chick.
Because that's kind of cool, a 3-on-1 orgy there. But no wonder they got bored. You got to have a little bit of, you got to have some balance there.
I guess.
You can only so long. Wait, is Nuts here? Sorry, Nuts. You can only lick for so long before you're like, I got to do something else. I got to summon a demon.
I guess.
We all knew that they wouldn't live there for long. None of us were at the point capable of stability required to be able to secure living quarters. So we have squatters?
Well, they don't seem like very good people.
Squatting, drunk, high, naked, Ouija board. All right. For a month or two, though, Scarlett had a crash pad, and although the landlord strictly forbade parties, she hosted them anyways.
All right, hang on. Before we go any further, since we are talking about an orgy here, and we're talking about this person, how they got bored, I think it's best if we actually show what she looks like. So I've got a picture here.
Uh-oh.
If you're prepared for this.
Let me see.
It's Christmas, so I apologize in advance, guys.
Oh my God. So I'm guessing this is post Ouija board.
This is post-op curly.
Comrade Kitty, thank you. They maybe wanted the demon to join the orgy. Maybe.
Well, I don't think even demons want to tap this. So, look, hair would improve this a little bit if you'd cover the face with it, like Cousin It style.
If this person came to me and was like, "Hey, you want to join me and my girlfriend?" I'd be like, "No, thanks.
I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Fed.
I'm gonna go see if the dog wants to lick my nipple." That happens to be why about 8 weeks later, Scarlett and Connor were evicted. That's what happens when you use some grandma's home as a whorehouse. These seem like really good people.
Well, she's got DIDs, so.
And now, oh my God, does she really? These are all in her head, huh?
Oh yeah. Let me read you her biography real quick because this
is
on the about page.
All right.
I'm Mary Claire, she, her, or we, us. I have a whole community living inside me as I live with dissociative identity disorder, multiple personalities. And so there are hundreds of us, hence the we, us pronoun usage. I attempt to live a religious life in the secular world. I would have made a terrible nun. I devote a lot of time to prayer and I enjoy studying mythology, history, medieval Christianity, suffering, mysticism, and spiritual warfare. I'm obsessed with things like the Holy Eucharist, praying the Rosary, and odd topics such as stigmata. I collect icons, religious art, prayer books, Rosary, and other Christian objects. I have an MA in English and Creative Writing from Southern New Hampshire University. Isn't that the mail order one?
I don't know.
But yeah, so she's very religious, hence the orgies.
Oh, yeah, right. And all the drugs and alcohol. Jack, I got an idea. You and I still need to go ghost hunting. And what we'll do is we will buy a Fisher Price Ouija board and take it with us and record ourselves using it. Audience, would you guys like to see me and Jack using a Ouija board in a haunted house?
Yeah, two fat guys using a Ouija board in a dark room. Yeah, it'll be riveting.
Don't worry, man. You'll get out first because if the demon comes, I can't run.
That's true. That's true.
Talik says no. Wow, that was hurtful. I thought that was a good idea.
I still think we should go ghost hunting, but the Ouija board might just make it look silly.
Thank you, Keldrig. She's claiming to be a Christian. We don't want her in the club. Thank you so much.
Right? Pretty sure there's some atheists out there like, nah, we're good.
I don't think lesbians want her in the club either.
Yeah. You know, if I had looked at her, I would have guessed like New Age pagan.
Maybe, yeah.
Like not a real pagan that actually has real beliefs, but like one of those New Age ones that believes like in urban witchcraft or some other made up shit.
You don't know that one of her identities isn't a pagan.
Oh, fair point. Obviously, at least one of them's into orgies. So.
Indeed. We made the bongs ourselves out of Coke bottles. None of us had any food, which didn't matter because there was no refrigerator to store anything in. You can buy stuff that doesn't have to be refrigerated.
Why?
Lots of stuff. Thankfully, there was a fish and chip shop across the street, and someone always had just enough money to shout a round of fish and chips. So she's British too?
I believe so.
Hey, Nuts. Merry Christmas, sweetie. You missed when I made the noise you hate, so good on you. There was a strict division of labor within our ranks. If you were a person with a penis, you sold drugs. But if you had a vagina, you rented that vagina to anyone who was there who would fuck you. This was how we survived. This was how we obtained what we needed.
Ew.
I am trying to imagine being so hard up that I would give that woman money to put my wiener in her.
Hey, somebody's banging Foodie Beauty, so...
I would rather masturbate with a calloused hand.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather masturbate with sandpaper.
Scarlett happened to have obtained this space right around Christmas, and in order to make Christmas interesting for what was essentially a street gang of young thugs, we all pooled our resources. Wow. There were sheets hung in cardboard boxes, creating makeshift cubicles. The mattress on the floor were for convenience. I'm not sure why we bothered since everyone fucked everyone else. Some people like me were more reserved when it came to such things. No, sweetie, nobody wanted to fuck you.
Yeah, it's not being reserved when you're a hideous monster.
Yeah, when nobody will bang you, that's not you being reserved. That's people having reservations.
Look, you're a druggie, a whore. You make clearly bad life decisions, and you didn't bother getting a job. There's a lot wrong here.
I was fine with prostitution. I saw that. This is a weird thing to read on Christmas.
I know, but it is Christmas themed.
I was fine with how long is this shit?
I
Okay.
don't know.
I was fine with prostitution. I saw that as a business transaction, but sex by choice was a different matter. Although I allowed any guy with a tenor to have sex with me, I was a lesbian. I spent my time cuddling up with women despite the fact that they had boyfriends.
She was a cheap whore too. Gangbangs of New York.
My favorite was Kelly, and luckily for me, Kelly was bi-curious. She was gorgeous and I wanted her, but I had to be willing to share her. Kelly wasn't going to leave her boyfriend, but she would also be fine with having a girlfriend at the same time. Kelly, I question your life decisions.
I'm questioning everybody involved's life decisions.
You could find a lesbian that's half that woman. I'm just saying.
Probably less body count too.
Kelly's boyfriend, Alfie, was okay with trying it out, but after a week or so, Kelly decided she thought she was probably straight. I suppose I'm thankful to have been the woman she figured it out with. You may have ruined lesbianism for her. Jack, can you bring that picture back up?
Hang on, I closed it. Give me a minute.
All right, I need the women out there, okay? Just the women. I guess the guys could do this. Picture yourself as a woman. You're a woman who's bi-curious. And you finally work up the courage to give into it and try that curiosity out.
Dare I say the gumption?
The gumption. There you go. Gum is a good word here.
And this is what you choose to be a lesbian with.
And this is what goes down on you, or you go down on. I feel like this kind of probably ruined her. That the girl's probably a lesbian, and this thing just scared her straight.
Look at those eyes. Those are dead, evil eyes.
Ladies, if this was your first lesbian experience, would you go back for more?
Do you want to give in to your lesbian side? Are you thirsty for more? Huh? Are you?
If all I could, okay, let's do the desert island thing. You're on a desert island. You have this or nothing. Do you ever have sex again?
No.
It'd have to be real late in life. I'd have to be like woke up with the hardest wiener you ever saw in your life with a boot camp dick, man.
You can jerk off because I mean, how hard's it going to be when you?
I wouldn't even want a blowjob from that. God damn.
Hey, this person's going to die because they can't contribute on a desert island. Look
Thank
at
you,
her.
Comrade Kitty. Gender bent Uncle Fester.
Right?
I was trying to place it. Yeah, that's Uncle Fester. Okay. Anyway, I myself wasn't quite sure how I felt about polyamory, but that didn't matter much because we were thugs that followed our base instincts. I could change from day to day, and because I have dissociative identity disorder, I was essentially polyamorous. Anyway, fuck you. Your daily reminder, DID is not real. It's literally a made up Tumblr thing. It's not real. What do you think her tick is to go between them?
I don't know. But it's so sad because they're diminishing people with actual mental problems. People with actual multiple personalities are being laughed at because of these clowns. People with serious mental health issues.
Collectively, as a person with multiple personalities, we would be in a relationship with anyone and everyone we felt we wanted to be with. Some drunken genius decided that we should summon Santa with the Ouija board. I guess he was taking the good stuff. Like I explained earlier, Scarlett and I knew the Ouija board was serious shit. Okay. Connor knew, but also thought it was funny, and we were all either inebriated, high, or both. Don't forget naked, guys. Remember, they're having an orgy at this moment. I want to stress that the woman we keep showing you was naked at this moment. Summoning Santa would be absolutely hilarious. Scarlett and I figured, why not let all the other idiots attempt to summon Santa and see how they got along with it. Nobody but Scarlett and I really expected anything to happen because, as drunk as they were still in the real world.
Well, were they?
All those wanting to participate in the seance sat in the darkest corner of the hellhole that Scarlett and Connor called home temporarily and used the board to call Santa. Several people screamed as Krampus descended on the room. Don't know about Krampus? You should. He's a horned Norse deity known to scare people, particularly children, during Advent. He is quite the nasty fellow. Here's what he looks like. That's a dude in a suit.
You don't
I'm
know
just
that. That's Krampus. What are you talking about?
A few other people thought their drugs were working better than they had hoped. Neither Scarlett nor myself had expected much to happen. That's not what you said earlier. We were surprised that anyone had bothered showing up. That's what happens when you summon demons. They show up.
Well, to be fair, they weren't trying to summon a demon. That's just what you end up with when you attempt to harass Santa Claus on his day off.
That story sucked.
They got Krampus.
That was a bad story.
It was the type of story you'd expect from somebody that was high.
I expected a better conclusion. What is she, Stephen
Krampus
King?
Did, did Krampus partake in the orgy?
Oh, we got them horns up in her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a really bad story. She should feel bad about herself for writing that. You have to have a better ending to that. You can't build it up with all the sex, drugs, and summoning demons, and it's just he showed up.
She has another story here.
Yeah, we're not reading it.
I'm gonna bookmark it for later.
Say not tonight. Not tonight.
No, we already discussed nipple licking and gross people orgies, so I think we kind of hit our quota.
Give me a 1. Give me a 1. Can't be Stephen King. It didn't involve children in the orgy. Fair enough. Fair enough. Give me a 1. Okay, this is a would you rather. 1, bang that chick we just saw. Or 2, have your nipple licked by a dog. That's right. You got to pick one. And no 3, I'm not going to do either because that's cheating. Yep. And remember that the nipple lick from a dog's not on purpose, just an accidental one, like they're just hyperactive. Yeah, most people are picking the 2. Because that woman was horrendously ugly. God, man, at least do something. Clean yourself up.
Yeah, it's when people aren't even trying,
Was already typing 2 before the option was said. Oh, man, what a horrible, horrible Christmas story. And I mean that it was just a poorly told story.
No, it was kind of anticlimactic because she's like, I think Krampus showed up at the end. What happened?
And she tells us only me and what's her name thought something would happen. And then she shows us Krampus like, neither of us expected anything to happen. Like, bitch, that's not what you literally just said.
Well, she's kind of dumb. So.
I mean, like, literally. I want to throw this out there just because I hope it turns into big drama. Pokimane had a show where she said that she thinks there needs to be federal legislation that punishes you for things you do online. Now, she says apparently in the later part of a clip, she says she wants it for things like revenge porn, which, by the way, is already illegal in every state in the union.
Yeah, isn't that what Ethan Ralph got busted for?
Yeah. So you don't really need to make it a federal issue. But Brittany Venti, oh, God bless her, she tweeted this out. Let's be honest. The reason Pokimane wants legislation that holds people online accountable is because she wants to throw you in jail for calling her fat instead of just eating less. And then includes this photo. Brittany, look, I'm not a fan of her because I think she looks like she smells like pee, and she's kind of stupid, and she latches on to anything. She's kind of like the Ian Miles Chong of the female world. She'll latch on to shit that I'm going to ride this wave. And good for her, whatever. But this was funny. And I hope it turns into a big fight between her and Pokimane.
Oh, that could be very entertaining.
Especially when you see Pokimane now. Because you know what Brittany Venti looks like, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is what Pokimane has done to herself.
Does she get fat or something?
No, well, she's getting a little chunkier, but look at her hair.
Oh my God, is she trying to become Brittany Venti?
I know, right?
Is this some single white female shit? Oh my God, look, it doesn't look hideous on her. It looks kind of 80s. She probably does need to do some sit-ups, though.
I just thought it was funny that Brittany takes a shot at her, and I go over here, and these are the newest pictures Pokey's put up, and she's got Brittany hair.
Yeah. And, oh man, she's got to work on that fupa a little bit. Do some sit-ups, honey. It'll help that shit.
She looks fine. I know she's just not fine for you. Nut says she looks better, to be honest. I agree. I actually like her. I like curly hair. So, but yeah, she just wants to throw you in jail for calling her fat instead of eating less. God damn, that's harsh. And I truly hope it blows up into a war between them because Brittany doesn't give a fuck.
I watched so little of either one of them. I won't be sure who I'm looking at because they'll look identical to me.
Brittany, I don't like. There's a lot of her stuff that I don't like. Like the piece she did on Kevin Samuels is petty as fuck.
Yeah, that was very petty.
The one that she did on Shoe was petty as fuck, but it was funny, so I was okay with it.
Funny.
That one was funny as shit. Anyhow, what else we got tonight? Don't care about that. I suppose we should talk about this. Amy Klobuchar was bragging. She says, "We passed the Electoral Count Reform Act. Antiquated laws should not be abused to challenge the will of the American people. A big win for democracy." Actually, it's a big loss for America. The Electoral Count Reform Act, Jack, doesn't allow any challenge to the results once they hit Congress.
Yeah, I mean, how dare you? Everything's fine. Don't look away.
There's never been a point where it's changed the outcome of the election. Even all of the people who objected when Pence started the thing before the riot happens and everything, Joe Biden was still going to be elected president. And these little shits, the Democrats have done it themselves. They did it for Donald Trump. They did it for every year this happens, every election year. But they're like, we can't let that happen anymore. And they snuck it into the omnibus bill to keep the government running. They snuck it in to the bill to keep the government funded. I hate when they do that shit, Jack.
Well, yeah, but they're going to do that. And they're very proud of themselves for sneaking stuff in.
And the final one that I want to talk about tonight, it's just the fucking headline that blew my mind. A California interior designer was convicted of first-degree murder after prosecutors said she killed her butterfly conservationist stepfather when he found nude photos of herself on his computer.
I saw this.
Now there are times where if that happened, you saw your stepdad with naked pictures of you and you killed him, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like if you just turned 18 and those are obviously from years before. But this guy, somebody gave him the picture reportedly, and she was like 37 or something, 39 when she killed him. Look, it's creepy, but that doesn't mean you get to kill him for it. Am I wrong on that?
I mean, it kind of depends on the context of why he had the pictures.
Well, I mean, I don't care if he was beaten off to him. It's pictures from when she was grown. How about this? Don't let people take naked pictures of you, sweetie.
Yeah, well, like, was this a blackmail attempt by somebody who sent him the pictures as, like, give me money or these go public? And she's like, oh, you're pervert, and just murdered him. I need a little more information here.
Let's see. I'll pause the video. California interior designer was convicted of first-degree murder Wednesday after prosecutors said she killed her butterfly conservationist stepfather when she found nude photos of her son. Literally the headline again.
Yes.
As San Diego County jury read its verdict against Jade Sasha Jenks, 39, of Solana Beach, her eyes widened and she appeared to be stunned in disbelief as she turned towards her defense lawyer. You murdered a dude over a naked picture. You thought you were going to get away with that?
Clearly.
Jenks, who had been free on bail. Can we stop letting murderers be free on bail?
Don't be a bigot, monkey. This is a woman.
She was immediately taken into custody. She faces 25 years to life in prison for the slaying of Thomas Merriman, 64, a co-founder of Butterfly Farms in Encinitas, I think. She's next due in court on April 3rd. Deputy District Attorney Jorge Del Portillo thanked jurors for their verdict. They've been excellent. Yeah, I want to know what happened. Merriman was killed on December 31st, 2020, not long after Jenks found the compromising photos on his computer. Jenks drugged him, suffocated him with a plastic bag, and choked him to death. God damn.
That's been overkill.
A text message Jenks sent to an acquaintance the day Merriman died, which was shown to jurors, read, I just dosed the hell out of him. Whoopsie.
Wow, way to share.
Jenks' defense insisted Merriman died of poor health and chronic drug abuse.
The drug she gave him, or was he addicted to being choked out?
You might have gotten away with that if you hadn't told a friend you dosed him. Okay. Defense lawyer Mark Carlos said he's evaluating. I don't care about that. Jurors rejected lesser charges such as manslaughter and involuntary manslaughter, which could have allowed the judge to consider mitigating circumstances at sentencing. The reason why Jade went to trial was she believed she was not guilty of this thing, and that's been her. Wait. She believes she's not guilty? I'm sorry. Either you're guilty or you're not, right?
I don't know. That's her truth, monkey. Who are we to question her truth?
She believes that she was not guilty of the thing, and that's been her position through the whole trial. That's her lawyer, told NBC. Carlos said he understood his client's stunned reaction. It's just a surreal. You murdered a man, bitch. It's just a surreal situation to be in. When the jury walks in, hands the note to the judge. This is the end of it. Where's what happened? I want to know the exacts about how he got this picture and stuff.
No.
All right, let's do a Twitter search of Thomas Merriman. Why can't I copy and paste this?
It's probably because it doesn't want you to.
Son of a bitch, they're going to make me type. How dare they?
Those bastards.
All right.
Yeah, see, it's one thing if somebody was like trying to blackmail this dude. It's another thing if he's got like hidden cameras around the house. You know?
Yeah. But the way I heard it, and I don't know where I saw it, the photo was like 10 years old or something. Trying this news source. She maintained throughout the trial she didn't do it. Yeah. Jenks did admit she was horrified to find more than 100 nude pictures of herself on the. Wow.
All right, that does change the game a bit.
It depends. It depends on how he got those.
Yeah, where's she like a baby or something playing in the bathwater, and they're like, "Oh, that's
Nope.
so adorable." Or
Here we
was it
go.
like she's getting plowed by her ex-boyfriend in her dad's bedroom?
The photos have been taken by Jenks consensually with her then boyfriend more than a decade ago, according to local reports. It's unclear how Merriman, a local butterfly activist, they keep bringing that up like it matters,
Well, I mean, butterfly conservation, they're a protected class.
how he gained access to the private pictures. One of the nude photos was apparently his screensaver.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, shit.
You either love your daughter too much or you really hate that bitch.
I wonder how long he's been her stepfather, too.
Yeah, well, at least it's not her bio dad.
Well, true. And it would be different, if he got into her life when she was like 9 and he has these, because that would be really fucking creepy. But if he married her mom after she was an adult, I mean, he's got no real connection there, right?
Yeah, there's nothing there, like he didn't raise her or anything, so if she gets stuck in a dryer.
Oh, she also texted this. I'm about to club him on the head as he's waking up. You killed him. And I'm sorry, look. Even with all extenuating circumstances, these are pictures you and your boyfriend took. Somehow he got a hold of them. He wasn't secretly taping you.
Yeah.
That's murder, sweetheart.
And he's not your bio dad. So
yeah,
it's just a little creepy as opposed to being super duper creepy.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's going to prison for 25 to life. Now she gets to, smash puss for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Did they prove the images were on his computer? I'm guessing so. Again, this was from a different report. I didn't click on the link that said local reports, so I don't know. But yeah, having a screensaver of her naked is kind of fucked up.
It's a little fucked up. But did she put those on his computer, or did he put them on his computer?
Yeah, that's something that could have happened too.
Yeah, Evil One brought that up. That could be a frame job. She's trying to get his money.
You could he might not have even used the computer very often. She could have done it that day. You should be able to look and see when the file was altered last.
Yeah.
But altered last doesn't necessarily tell you when it was originated. You can look and find when the file was originated. But again, even if he got those, she can claim, look, he got those 2 days before and I happened to find it because I use his computer all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way to prove who put them on there. But anyway, what a Christmas show. I feel like we should do something Christmassy. What's Christmassy?
Oh, hold on. I have an idea. We do have some good news. Here, Monkey. I'll give you this link so you can put it on screen.
Is it good Christmas news?
Yes.
Okay.
Did it go through?
No. Oh, there it is. It took a moment. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Hotep's got a good point.
Obviously, she was hired by the Mexican cartel. Anyone remember those butterfly conservationists being murdered? Oh, yeah. They were killing quite a few of those guys. Yeah. Santa Claus undaunted by Arctic blast, U.S. military says. U.S. military officials have assured anxious children the Arctic blasts and snowstorms that wreaked havoc on U.S. airline traffic this week will not prevent Santa Claus from making his annual Christmas Eve flight. Don't they know about Rudolph? Then one foggy Christmas Eve. Yeah, Rudolph helps him in bad weather.
Well, it's pretty fucking cold out. He might have been like, I'm not going.
If your kid is worried about Santa coming and he's still awake for some damn reason, show him Rudolph. Don't worry, they'll be too young to pick up all the horrible shit in the show, but they will get that Rudolph helps save the day. We have to deal with a polar vortex once in a while, but Santa lives year-round in one at the North Pole, so he's used to this weather. Deadpanned U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Ben Wiseman, a spokesman for the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, which tracks the Yuletide flights. Well, there you go. Santa's going to be here. If you were worried about that, he's going to be out there. Yay. Go Santa. Did you see that Greta Thunberg was supposed to give a global warming speech? And it was too fucking cold to do it. I think she is the new Al Gore, man. Al Gore used to show up everywhere to give these speeches about global warming, and then it'd be too cold to give a fucking speech. That's God's telling you to shut the fuck up.
Right? This is mega weather.
Oh, God. It's cold as shit, man. It is
Yeah,
cold
the
as
mega
hell.
boys are out on the prowl tonight. Watch out, tuna sandwich eaters.
Yeah, don't go to Subway tonight, man. You'll end up with some clothesline and bleach. Did they ever prove it was bleach?
I don't think so.
They were calling it a bleach-like substance. Okay. What is a bleach-like substance? I really don't know. Like Mr. Clean?
Maybe.
We should have been able to see on the receipt from what the guys bought. I don't know. I want some global warming right now. You and me both, man. I still say we nuke Canada. It'll warm the place up for a while. And then, Jack, if it starts to get cold again, just nuke them again.
Well, then we'll have nuclear commies.
It's all right. They'll be a little glowy. They can work for the FBI.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, seeing what our government's been up to with the Twitter files, excuse me. You know, maybe, Jack, maybe I just had a little too much hope. I hoped I was wrong. I hoped it wasn't what I saw. You ever get like that? Like, I hope this isn't what I think it is.
Yeah, not anymore. I'm usually like, this is just going to confirm what I already thought, isn't it?
And it has. The only question I have now is how much influence they had on legacy media. I know they did. There's no way these guys all came to the same conclusions at the same time on accident.
Yeah.
And we already know from the Twitter files that they were calling in all kinds of social media. Hey, those of you out there, look, a whole bunch of people just got fired from the Washington Post. Any of y'all got any information on this? Anyone? I love that legacy media is having all these firings too, as they were cheering on and talking about how Twitter was going to fail with all the firings.
Yeah.
It's funny as shit.
Well, if the FBI had 80 agents just doing Twitter, can you imagine how many there were overlooking all these other agencies? All these
I
other
know,
places?
right?
Can you imagine how many agents you'd have to have for YouTube alone?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they got other agencies involved, like CIA, NSA, God knows what else. But still, the amount of money being spent on this is just astronomical.
YouTube would be a lot harder than Facebook or Twitter, because you have to hope that the person who uploaded it had the search parameter that you were looking for.
Yeah.
It's easy to go over to Twitter and, right after Elon takes over and they have, all the 4chan invades, all you had to do to see how many people were typing the N-word is go up into the search box, type in the N-word, and bam, there you go.
Yeah.
Just count. My neighbor's pipes froze and broke today. By the time anyone noticed, I had an inch of water in my apartment. It happened last winter too. I still like winter more than summer. Damn.
Wow. That sucks.
I had a neighbor who's not a neighbor, a friend. His pipes did that one year. He had to go out there with a heater. He finally got his water back like 2 days before it warmed up.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Take care of your pipes, y'all. Take care of your pipes. Luckily, all of ours are underground or inside the house.
Yeah. It's a lot more difficult for plastic ones to burst like that.
Yeah.
It's been my experience. The metal ones, though, yeah.
I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Guys, I think we're going to wrap up here. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I really do. Christmas is a great time. I've been enjoying seeing the people on Twitter, Jack, who have kids. They've had kids in the last couple of years, and they're suddenly like, I get Christmas now. Who was it? That Bridget Fetsy shit. What's her name? I can't
Something
remember.
like that. Brittany Fenty.
Yeah. There's several people who've been out there and put out these tweets like, I get it now. I was one of these assholes you didn't want to talk to. Don't be that way at Christmas. If you are that way, just keep it to you. Don't be a fucking Scrooge to everybody else. Let people have their fun. And if you don't like it, crawl up your own ass and die for all I care. Just try to enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun. We need to get back to having fun, Jack.
We do, but it's so hard because there's not much to celebrate these days.
Turn on Die Hard and enjoy it. Turn on It's a Wonderful Life and be like, why does everybody like this movie so much? A little too much.
I think you might have gone a little far on that one, but
I don't get it. It's an okay movie. I just don't understand why everybody loves it so much.
Because they haven't seen Christmas Story.
Watch A Christmas Story. There's so much fun stuff to watch right now, and enjoy it. Have fun with it. Call your mom. Hug your family. If you get a chance to be with them, enjoy it. I know sometimes being with family can be hard. I have family that's like, oh, I don't want to go see them. But just go and have fun. Relax.
Make some good memories.
Yeah. There's enough shit in the world. You don't have to add to it when you don't have to. Learn to enjoy life more. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for all the donations. You guys are so cool. Don't forget, you can buy monkey coins at any time. You don't get anything for it, but you can claim you have monkey tokens. It's for the poor. Me. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link in the chat. As always, thank you so much for all the donations and everything you guys do for us and coming out night after night, especially on these horribly frigid days and holidays. And hope you all have a lovely holiday, whatever you celebrate, and Merry Christmas, even if you don't like Christmas.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Jack, a very Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Same to you, buddy.
Everyone, have a great day. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas to you. That's all I'm singing. I'm not singing about